the situation with Borderlands 4 looks terrible. And I'm not even trying to be overly dramatic about this situation. The fact of the matter is, everything we know about this game currently, everything we have seen, everything that we have heard, looks like pure diarrhea at this point. And it just got so much worse. Because Borderlands 4 is probably gonna be $80. Doom Eternal just died, being a pretty decent game. Granted, it was contested. Do people like this playstyle more of the aggressive zoominess versus the previous more methodical approach? But still, the game failed. And the main reason that people are currently saying why the game failed is literally the $80 price tag. And it could even be bigger than this. We just don't know yet. Everything about this game is absolutely horrid. I mean, look at this. This is our lovable main cast of characters. Okay, listen. I want you to look at this guy. His name is Rafa. Okay, I want you to look at her. Her name is No One Cares. This is the White Norse character, and this is literally Riri Williams. This was what we saw in the first trailer. Very woke, I know. I don't even need to probably put this in paint and do the pivot tool and tell you what color all of these characters are. Okay, it's aggressive, it's on your nose, and it's intentional. Every single one knows it. And after the backlash, do I need to take a pivot tool and make a comparison between this and this? Now, only the people who have an agenda and are going to be dishonest are going to say that there's no difference. This is, by the way, Riri Williams now. And I want to remind everyone that this is how Riri Williams, by God, should be looking like. And now she's literally like this, which is even worse than before, honestly, in my honest opinion. And now we have some in-game footage of what our Norse Viking looks like. Congratulations, everyone. They Pedro Pascal the shit out of the cast, okay? This is our giant Norse dude. Man, I remember reading an article that the Vikings were black. I guess it's true. I guess it's true. This is wokeness pushed to the absolute maximum, and then the people running this absolute clown car decided, wait a minute, people are not liking this. So let's change it a little bit, but let's not. Again, this is what we call in the industry Pedro Pascalization. Oh yes, because Pedro Pascal is not white, but he sure as hell passes as that. And everyone hates him because he's in everything. But again, that's just the previous things, okay? We're not even talking about the fact that Borderlands 2 was where the player base began to slightly split because a lot of people had objections against this. Borderlands 3 was completely a joke in most players' opinions. And the cringe adventure of Tiny Tina Wonder Cringe was super bad, and no one liked that, okay? And there was something in between and in the middle, and I'm not sure if anyone even liked that. So the Borderlands franchise is an absolute woke / pure slop limbo. That's the best way to honestly describe this, and it's not getting better, okay? Because this is going to be the most hilarious thing ever. As gamers express concerns about Borderlands 4, I wonder what kind of magical concerns we're talking about here, by the way, because keep in mind, this is by iGoddamnGN article, okay? Potentially costing $80. Gearbox Chief Randy, I have a hard drive of porn that I bring to middle-aged LARPs and then forget and placed on the table when people find it, and it has my name on it as a return address, Pitchford. Yes, that's also a thing if you don't know. And if that was confusing, don't look it up. That's literally the story. It does not get less confusing if you try to figure out what happened. It says, if you are a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. That's right, boys. Time to sell those kidneys. There's a reason God made it that we can survive off of one, most of the time at least. Oh yes, Skin actually is pretty lucrative by the centimeter, so there's your options. $80. Randy Pitchford says you're not a real fan if you don't buy it. Well, Randy, considering what you have done with the franchise, uh, I'm not buying it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never buying Borderlands 4. Okay, a miracle needs to happen, and it's not gonna be enough. And then we have it. Outspoken Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford has responded to a fan who expressed concern about the prospect of paying $80 for Borderlands 4. Says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. Like, this is unironically one of the worst and dumbest statements ever. This is the same guy who was, by the way, a couple of months ago, begging people to go and watch the Borderlands movie even though it was an absolute woke slop fiesta. It was horrible. People hated it. It was boring. It was bad, okay? And this guy literally was dead. Let's go watch the movie. And now he's saying, like, this guy's a clown. This guy is like easily one of the most unlikable people in the games industry, and he needs to compete with fucking EA, okay? He literally needs to compete with EA, Bethesda, BioWare, and Ubisoft at this point, and he still kind of finds ways to catapult himself at the front of front for first person in the games industry. Holy shit. The video game industry has made the jump to $80, and it's showing because a lot of games that previously would not have failed on $60, $70 are now failing. Again, most prominently Doom Eternal. It's a fine game on average. A lot of people like it still. And no one's buying it. It literally is effectively a financial fiasco. First with Nintendo's Mario Kart World, which is probably going to suffer a lot now. Then with Microsoft and its price hike announcement that will kick in this holiday season. I love the fact that it's going to kick off in the holiday season. Could Borderlands 4 follow suit? The answer is yes. All the games industry is gonna follow suit. And the best part, this is also going to affect the prices of pre-releases, early access, and all of those things that honestly no one should ever buy. Okay, publisher 2K Games and present company parent company, not present, parent company Take-Two have so far remained vague on whatever they will go to $80. They're probably going to go to $90 at this point. And Randy Pitchford has insisted the decision is out of his control. He wants to minimize damage already on himself. What a clown! But responding to one concern from friend on social media, Pitchford set the cat among the pigeons by saying that if you're a real fan, you'll probably find a way to make it happen. Again, it's just ridiculous. Also, this IGN article has already repeated this phrase like 17 times. So, anyone wondering why IGN is an absolute dumpster fire and a joke? Well, because they can't even write articles, and that's the only thing they're supposed to actually do. Here's the exchange. Randy, this game better not be $80 based. Don't take the risk. A lot of gamers aren't gonna pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. Okay, the price tag, by the way, anyone who says the price tag for games has not increased in 10s, 20s years, it's a bunch of bullshit. The game price of games should have actually gone down because most games are not physical anymore. They're purely digital. So production, manufacturing, logistics, and all of this is no longer necessary. So why did the price of games not go down? Okay, that's the first big lie. The second big lie that people usually say about this: the price of games has increased because the predatory nature of these things has gone up. In fact, it has gone up with an astonishingly high rate. It's not graph go up slightly, it's graph shooting up into the moon. Okay, listen, it's not going to be the NFTs or bitcoins or whatever that hits the moon. It's going to be the actual price of gaming, considering predatory practices that these things do. gave content, day one missions, day one DLCs, things like that nature, cutting the game up in parts and selling it back to you for more and more and more and more money. This is what we have to deal with. So now they're just raising the price even more of this. I mean, listen, there's a reason the Ubisoft loser CEO said as well. You should get comfortable to not owning your own games because I'm not owning Borderlands 4, and a lot of people are not gonna own Borderlands 4 at this rate. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. No, you don't. You actually don't. Okay. I'm pretty sure Gearbox is literally owned. It's not just a publisher thing. It's they are owned by EA. So they have no say, okay? Randy has absolutely no say. Not that this absolute beta male would ever actually want to bite the hand that feeds him because morality be damned and shit. And here's Randy's Pitchford's response. A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it. This is like the fifth, seventh time IGN you're saying this phrase. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Prismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Wow, you were a child with no expenses. Fuck off. As you'd expect, Pitchford's comment has sparked what vociferous? Is this a misspelling or is this actually a real world? Expressing or characterizing a vehement opinion, loud and forceful.
Vociferous.
Oh wait, I can't hear it. You only heard that. Oh, wait, let me change the settings. This.
Vociferous. Vociferous.
Yes, yeah, it's pronounced vociferous. Well, IGN, I guess you are right. As you use the word that I have actually probably never seen in my life. Lamau, CEO said. Real fan, woo-hee, this in this economy, said one on social media users. Based. Absolutely based. Anyway, Borderlands 4 is dead. This absolute trash dumpster fire is dead on arrival, and this guy's an absolute goddamn clown. It is what it is. That's just the life. And IGN, I really hate you. You're really bad, but this at least was a funny article, okay? How about you try to not say the thing that's in the headline 7 more times, because you know what? I kind of get it. This is why people don't want to read your articles. That's why people don't in general want to read your articles, because this is the whole goddamn article, and you say it like 20 more times so people get it, okay? I clicked because of the... I clicked. Actually, I didn't click on it. I found this as a link, and there we go. Anyway, that's it. I hate IGN. That's kind of the takeaway. And Border Slop 4 is bad.